Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the channel members and any of you who come in to watch my knife and EDC content. Today, I want to take a little time and talk about the most misunderstood knives in the knife industry, in the knife game, in the knife market, in the collector enthusiast market. And those are going to be automatics, switchblades, out the fronts, however you refer to them as. Um, and it's complicated because you've got federal laws like the Federal Switchblade Act, which is just basically interstate commerce restriction for shipping them over state lines, weird things like that. And then you've got state laws, right? And they all vary very much. So, for example, California has a switchblade law that prohibits any blade over 2 inches long. So Kershaw made this little guy. I think it's the Launch 4. Not exactly sure. A little USA made auto with a small dagger blade because, again, it fits into that legal restriction. Why do switchblades get a bad name? Why do they get a bad rap? And why are they so confusing in their legality? I'll go through and we'll talk about some of these switchblades, these automatic knives like this Protek Newport that would not be legal in California. It would not be legal in New York. In Florida, you could conceal it in your pocket if you had a concealed carry permit. That's crazy in my opinion, because an automatic knife, to me, an enthusiast, is a one-handed knife that I can open that Spyderco just as fast as Protek can open that spring, right? I don't have a timer here, but I'm willing to get bet my finger is as fast as that spring. But neither here nor there, these guys get a lot of grief. I think it's a lot of the movies that have come out back when the Outsiders were big and some of the other crazy movies with Pony Boy and, you know, all those guys that had their Italian switchblades, and it's just became a scare campaign, a fear campaign. Because to me, an automatic knife, whether it's out the side or out the front, is no more dangerous, no more lethal than a kitchen knife, a fixed blade, or a folding knife. I think it's just crazy bureaucracy that's, you know, kind of like always doing what they do, right? So states have their own laws, and they may have different carry restrictions, right? So it may be perfectly legal to buy and own a knife, but it may not be legal to carry it or to carry it in your pocket where it's concealed with a deep carry clip. And I urge you to go to somewhere like kniferights.org. They've even got an app that keeps up with all the latest switchblade automatic knife laws. So if it's something that you're interested in as an enthusiast, check your local state laws. Make sure that you're going to not put yourself in a position to get shaken down for something that probably would never happen, but there's no need to get in trouble for something that you could just keep at home if it was a problem and still enjoy it. But this is a Protek Newport. Great little automatic knife that serves as an EDC knife extraordinaire for me. I carry it quite a bit. It's a gentleman's EDC. Where I live, there are no restrictions on automatic knives. Funny thing, I can't carry an over 12-inch Bowie, allegedly. That's the law in my state's books. But anyway, this little knife is great. I look at it as a deep carry gentleman's knife, S35 VN, aluminum handle. Very easy to open and close with one hand. Closing it's the part that makes it, you know, questionable, but it's very easy to, and it's small. Moving up the scale, I've got another little Strider-inspired collaboration with Protek called the PT-207. This again is a small little automatic knife. Very easily opens and locks up with that plunge lock or that button lock. But I can pull it out of my pocket, give it a quick little flick, and that MagnaCut blade comes out and it's ready to be employed to use. Now I've also got a Strider SNG. I can open that Strider SNG just as fast as that Protek is opened by that spring. However, this knife is going to be restricted in a lot of states. Some states it's going to be flat out illegal, and it's just unfortunate. I think that's why kniferights.org, Doug Ritter and his team are so important, trying to, every time a law comes up or there's a chance to overturn a law, that's what Knife Rights does. And automatics are kind of what they focus on right now, because that's where all the laws are still very much what I would consider archaic. But moving up, we have a couple of imports. This is the EMP EDC Pulse out the front Warncliffe. So I don't look at this as a dangerous knife or as any more threatening of a knife than another knife. It's just very easy for me to deploy this, open my Amazon packages, cut open my cat food, cut whatever else I need to cut, and then put it back in my pocket, right? It's easy open, easy close. But because it does that automatically, laws don't like it. So again, check your local laws. But the Protek, they're great USA-made knives. These EMP EDC knives are probably some of the best imported knives I've experienced. This is a Bestech OEM knife, if I'm not mistaken. Aluminum handle, MagnaCut blade, deep hollow grind. Could sharpen the front if you wanted to, but there's no need. It's just a really nice package. And that is the EMP EDC Pulse OTF Warncliffe. Right behind it, I liked it so much, I picked up their next offering, which was the EMP EDC Bestech OEM Pulse Clip Point, or Bowie, however you want to look at it. It has got a deep hollow ground stonewashed MagnaCut blade with this nice little compound ground tip. Super pokey, super stabby, very fast to deploy, very easy to control. A one-hand knife, very ergonomical because it's square. And again, put it in my pocket, take it out if I need to, use it, make my cuts, nothing nefarious. Close up, put it in my pocket. It's just easy to use. Again, some states don't want you to own it, don't want you to carry it, and find it more threatening than knives that I think are responsible for more crimes than any other. And those are knives that are picked up out of a kitchen in most cases. But this is the second EMP EDC in my collection. Great knife, imported, OEM, Bestech, just a banger. Moving on, we come to a little bit bigger Protek Strider collaboration. This is the SNG. This is a full-size knife, the same size as the Strider SNG. It's just an automatic variation that Protek collaborated with Strider to make this SNG an automatic. So you've got an aluminum handle, very tactical automatic, and you've got this 154 cm blade. Very snappy. I can open and close it very easily with one hand. You've got this forward finger choil, nice sharpening choil. This is a soft tissue piercer. This is a Slurpee saver. It's also a great work knife, whether you're cutting more rugged type stuff or using your knife a little harder. And again, it's a great knife. If somebody comes a sneaking, it'll certainly leave them leaking. But it doesn't open, if any, or much faster than my Strider that I can flick open in no time. But again, some states are going to frown on this and say you can't own it, and the Federal Switchblade Act says you can't send it across state lines. Kind of crazy, huh? So moving on, let's look at just a couple more of these guys. So this is an Axial Knives Shift OTF. This is a Shift OTF. I love this knife because it is a USA-made knife, has a deep carry clip, has no glass breaker, because I rarely need a glass breaker. In all my years, I've used them none. But this is a little MagnaCut, stone washed or acid washed Tanto blade. I love, love, love the look of this blade. I love the snap of this knife. To me, it's very aggressive, very much a Slurpee saver type of knife, but also a great EDC knife for cutting open those cat food bags, those Amazon packages, whatever it may be. However, it's an out the front knife. It scares people sometimes opening them. I think that's because media, TV, movies, no fear to John Wick, but things like that scare people and make them think that this somehow is going to be more devastating, more damaging, more scary than this. Newsflash, all three of these knives, if you got, bad intentions or defending yourself, I'm not going to pick this knife. I'll just tell you that. I love this knife. It's a great knife, but this is a little bit more along the keep yourself safe. I would say keep yourself safe motif, so to speak. This would be more preferable to me. However, it's just a manual knife. It's not illegal at all. Same with the Benchmade bug out. Opens extremely fast. Whether you thumb flick it, it's instantaneous. But then again, your Axial Shift is going to catch some grief in several states because it is an automatic. But they're very handy. That's why I like them. I used to not be an automatic carrying guy, but I've really gotten to where I love them. Next up, we got a knife that's new to me, that's new to my collection. And one of the first I traded for this guy today. The video hadn't even come out yet. But this is a Gen 3 Microte Ultratech with the updated garbage, I forget what they call it, garbage cleaning track system. So this one has 0 blade play. It's like when I was talking to the guy at Knives and More, pretty much locks up perfectly. I mean, you can look at a deadlock and they have no wiggle. This has no wiggle. I've never handled a deadlock. He has, and he tells me it's indistinguishable in terms of being able to feel it move. So it's got an M390 MK blade. It has got a drop point. I'm not a big dagger guy. They also had this inner dagger, but it's a full-size knife. One of the Gen 3 upgrades is they have lowered and modified this glass breaker. It still has it, but it's not as, truce. They've also moved to Torx screws, and they're not mad at you if you take your knife apart now to clean it. However, this garbage, and I'm saying it wrong, it's the Crud Cutter dual fuel drivetrain is what this new system that they've employed here is called, that gives you 0 blade play. Super, super nice. Very, very comfortable knife. I was glad to trade for this today. Again, I hadn't been much of a Microte guy, but after checking this one out in the store and feeling the stability of that blade, it just made me fall in love with it. A very well made knife. Unfortunately, living in California or New York don't apply because this knife's not legal everywhere. Check your state laws. Make sure that, if you get it, you're going to want to carry it. I love it. Clip's great. I'm carrying it right now. It's going back in my pocket. Moving on, you have a knife like this. This would probably confuse a lot of people because it doesn't have a button. It does not look like an automatic knife. However, it is. It's got a little switch here where you just take the palm of your hand and you move that, which actuates the whole frame. I don't know if you can see that there, but that allows you to close the knife, and you got the jimping right here. Just with the littlest, slightest click of your wrist, it opens up. Close it with 2 hands. If I want to close it with 1, I can. It's a little more difficult because this is a long, long blade. This blade is probably one of the biggest knives in this series of knives that, are very much not they're misunderstood. In a lot of cases, they're illegal. A lot of cases, it's for reasons unknown. So, I just find it kind of unique, kind of interesting, and it makes you ask yourself why. And it also makes you want to be, more active if your state is affected by some of these laws. When they're bills that come up or things that come up, which they do all the time. There are always legislators trying to change laws for the knife industry because Protek and others want to sell knives all over the state. So they go in and they try to work these bills and get them to be more reasonable, i.e., the stats don't show that automatic knives are more dangerous than any other knife used for nefarious reasons, much less because they're just not the most practical tool for the job. A fixed blade that you pick up in a kitchen is going to be as dangerous probably as anything you're going to run into, or a machete or something like that. But this is the Protek Magic Whiskers 2, full size knife that's just got some snap to it. It is an automatic, so it's not going to qualify in states where they're frowned upon, but to me that's just kind of a shame. Moving on, we got one more automatic and then another questionable knife since we're talking about confusing knives. This knife is not the confusing one. This is just a bargain of an OTF. This is a knife from Ace called the Neutron that is, when it came out and I bought this knife, it was $108. $108 for a beautiful SD Magic blade that's got a Sanmai treatment to it. Aluminum handle, kind of a grippy insert to keep it to where it fits your hand very well. It's a full-size knife. It's actually huge. It has got some spring, and it's very tactical looking. It's kind of a drop point, but it's a compound ground. The Neptune is just a beautiful knife. It does have a glass breaker, deep carry clip, very long, so check your blade requirements. Make sure you can carry it. And check your state laws, but it's a great knife for under 110 bucks. So on Ace's website, you find these. They come in stock every now and then. But then we come to the Wildcard. Evidently the most illegal knife that you can buy, that in my state I don't think it's illegal, but maybe federally it is because it's a gravity knife. It makes no sense to me that this knife would be considered illegal. It just slides out. Your hand holds it closed or it's got a lock, and then it slides in. It's not any faster than any of the knives that we've been looking at. However, because it's a gravity knife, it fits some of those weird, confusing knife laws where I don't know if this is legal in most states. I know that a lot of the companies I see selling it are, big retailers, and they send them pretty much anywhere you order them. I ordered this and it came in and I've enjoyed it ever since. But a gravity knife is a big no-no. So I only say that because a lot of the knives we take for granted that are fine, right? But knives like automatics, which I've never understood, and I definitely don't agree with because I don't think they're any more dangerous or any more threatening or any more nefarious or going to be any more desirable by a criminal to cause you harm than any other knife. I think that's just crazy. I think they're great knives, especially if you're an enthusiast and you have different types of knives and you use them for different types of things. It makes sense to have a few automatics in your collection. They're easy to use. They're easy to deploy. You can do it with one hand. You don't have to think about it. You can just push the button and then close it up with two hands if you need to. But these are the automatics, guys, that I wanted to show y'all and just kind of talk about why they're so misunderstood and some of the laws that made them that way. And hopefully they won't always be that way. But until more and more people get active and go out and say, hey, this is crazy. However you do that by contributing to your politician, voting for people that believe in the laws that you believe in, or just walking around with a sign that says your law sucks. Just be active, be aware, don't get yourself in trouble. These are all great knives. Hopefully they're not affected negatively in your state. But guys, thank you for watching. If you're still here, gosh, I appreciate you. Do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're so inclined and you haven't had a chance, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon. But most importantly, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.